Hello and welcome. I'm Arkayla. This channel is dedicated to supporting your journey into coming back into alignment with your soul self. To do this, I share channeled messages, practices, and techniques to support your journey. Today, the Pleiadians wish to talk to you about love. If you would like to receive your own personal Pleiadian reading, you can find a link in the copy below this video. I will now drop in and let them come through. Dearest ones, it is always such a joy to connect with you. We come to you at this time to speak of love. We wish to offer a frequency as we communicate through Arkayla, a gentle frequency that supports your heart, that supports your faith in yourself, in the Creator who moves through you, beloved one. Because really, this is all about love. Finding your way back to love, because indeed this is where you all begin. In fact, when you come into form for the first time, and this does not mean in this life necessarily, in fact for none of you here, for everyone here has had many life experiences. That is partly why you are here. But for the first time, your vibration came into form. You see, there was a first time. There was a moment when you moved from sheer vibration into material form. And when we say material form, we do not necessarily mean material as you know it. Material form can simply be molecular. You took a form. We would also say we use this broader term, form, to also reference beyond the molecular, because this too is very human. And for many of you here, your first form was not human and was not even on the earth plane. You have all been in different realms, different dimensions, taken different forms in many different ways. But when you were first birthed into being, on any level, it was done through sheer love. This purity of unconditional love and joy, delight that birthed you into being. This signature frequency, if you like, is within everyone. Everything. For it is the hallmark of being brought into manifestation. You all come from a desire of the creative force, the life force that moves through all things, to bring life force into form. And in so doing, there is sheer delight, magnificence, pleasure in simply coming into being. To give this context, Arkayla has clear memories, or rather memory, of her first moment in being. Her purview of this is as a cell. We would call it a form. For it is not a cell strictly as you would understand in this world. But she appeared in an ocean of others just like her, all crowded next to each other. An ocean of, for want of a better word, cells. And as we speak of this, she feels it in herself. For her it was a wet experience. She sees it as an ocean, but we would see it as an ocean of being, for she was surrounded by those like her. And there were 5 suns in the skies above, and their light shone so powerfully through her and all those around her, and the sheer joy of simply being is her memory. There is no sense of beginning or ending. It is her first memory of simply being and belonging and feeling held and celebrating being. And all of these aspects, beloved one, are your inheritance too. For all of you here hold this same memory on some level. Not in the exact same way. You each have your own unique version. However, you all share a beginning birthed in love. We pause because as we do so, we focus our entire frequency on the transmission that is being made between and through the words we offer. Everything in this experience is purposeful, beloved. It is to help you reconnect, to move through that which within you may be creating a level of resistance to the deep knowing of what and who you truly are. For you are a manifestation of love. Sheer, beautiful, magnificent, limitless love. And one may ask, but why is there so much pain in the world? And we would say that is not the choice of love. But it is love, unconditional love, that waits with an open heart for all those who have turned away from love to return to it. It is as simple as that. For indeed, the gift of being alive is free will. And though you are birthed in love, beloved, what you choose to do with your life is entirely your gift. That is the level of unconditional love that is bestowed upon existence. It is not a love that wishes to control or manage or direct. That is not love. Love is patient, unconditional, pure forgiveness. It is delight, it is joy. And love sits powerfully. It sits powerfully within every single soul. It is within every cell of this world. And it is singing continually, singing you all back to itself. It is simply the level of resistance that one exercises through their own free will that drives them from that love. And so what you see of suffering is not of life force. It is a choice that is made by those who have the freedom to choose. For even those who are lost, truly lost, will at some point return, no matter how many lifetimes it may take. They will return. And here we wish to speak to karma. Because you see, karma is a very interesting thing. We would say it is part of the magnificent design of creation. Indeed, of course it is. And we would say karma is a very important thing to understand. Because, beloved one, when you are coming back into the love that you are, you have the opportunity to revisit many lifetimes where you have experienced often great pain, great suffering. And some of those lifetimes you were indeed the victim of many things. But in some of those lifetimes you were also the perpetrator of many things. For indeed, you have all played different roles, as is the way of existence. You come in and make choices, and those choices are often influenced by those around you. But as you perceive all of your past lives, as you perceive yourself as victim and perpetrator, you begin to not only understand the power of unconditional love, that it has truly held you in any form you have chosen to embody, but also you start to understand the level of forgiveness that is necessary, not to forgive those who may have made you feel a victim. No. The level of forgiveness that is necessary to forgive yourself as a perpetrator, in whatever form that may have taken. And every single one of you here has chosen to play roles in both sides of the spectrum. Not because you intended harm, simply because it offered your soul the most evolutionary experience at the time. And so you see, this is where judgment starts to become a very interesting thing. Because how can one judge others when one has seen oneself in many different lights? And this too is part of the journey of humanity. For indeed, the collective at this time is still very entrenched in judgment over what is right and what is wrong. And indeed, we have no judgment over this. What we would simply share is that as more and more of the collective come into greater alignment with their soul selves, and in so doing take the necessary journey of returning to one's soul self, it is always necessary, inevitable, to see oneself in all lights. For in returning to the soul self, one must let go of all attachments to stories of who they are, who they think they are, or who they thought they have been. It is a process of purification that takes place. And in so doing, the level of compassion that is reached simply going through the process is significant, is profound. Not just for oneself, but in turn for others, for humanity. One starts to see everything through a completely new filter of love, compassion, acceptance, deep acceptance of perpetrations that you thought were totally unforgivable. And yet when one has seen oneself as a perpetrator of the gravest of crimes, which indeed some of you here will at the perfect time, and this will not be something that knocks you off your path, for indeed this will be something that is truly part of your path home. For to hold space for all of you, beloved, for all the shades of your rainbow, this is sheer magnificence. And this is what each of you are calling in as you come into greater and greater alignment with your true nature, to see all of you, and in so doing to receive, accept and understand compassionately all of you. And so you see, we hope that through many of our offerings, our sharings with you, you are starting to see the pattern that whatever you experience as an individual transforms not only your perspective of your true nature, but in so doing gives you the opportunity to change your perspective of those around you, of your collective, and how you wish to relate to them, to feel about them. And this is simply because as you expand within yourself, as you begin to encompass more and more of your true nature, your soul light, you start to realize there is really nothing but a reflection outside of you, and that everyone you perceive is simply reflecting back at you what you have felt within. And as you become aware of more and more subtle energies that are playing out within you, you will become more and more aware of what is subtly playing outside of you. And you will become more and more adept at observing and accepting things just as they are. And not needing to direct, not needing to impress upon others your perspective. For indeed what you hold within you is more than enough. How you choose to be is more than enough. And the feeling of being, the feeling of simply being in your entirety, in your light fully, is so delightful. It is more than enough to fill you to a place where you are no longer bothered by how you are perceived or how you perceive others. For it becomes immaterial, as your biggest and most profound relationship is the one taking place within you. As you become one with the light of creation that you truly are a part of. As you return fully to the love, the endless, fathomless, unconditional love that you are. beloved